Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh predicts concrete steps soon. 2. Cleveland, AP. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh told a judicial conference on Thursday he hopes there will be concrete steps soon to address recent ethics concerns surrounding the court, but he stopped short of addressing calls for justices to institute an official code of conduct. "We can increase confidence. We're working on that," Kavanaugh told the judicial conference in Ohio. He said all 9 justices recognize that public confidence in the court is important, particularly now. "There's a storm around us in the political world and the world at large in America," he said. "We, as judges in the legal system, need to try to be a little more, I think, of the calm in the storm." Justice Clarence Thomas acknowledged recently that he took 3 trips last year aboard a private plane owned by Republican megadonor Harlan Crow even as he rejected criticism over his failure to report trips in previous years. Reporting by the investigative news site ProPublica also revealed that Justice Samuel Alito failed to disclose a private trip to Alaska he took in 2008 that was paid for by 2 wealthy Republican donors, one of whom repeatedly had interests before the court. Time equals 400 Ms. Greater than the Associated Press also reported in July that Justice Sonia Sotomayor, aided by her staff, has advanced sales of her books through college visits over the past decade. File. The exterior of the South Carolina Supreme Court building in Columbia, South Carolina is shown Wednesday, January 18, 2023. Justices threw out a deal Wednesday, September 6, 2023, cutting 16 years off the 35-year sentence of a man convicted of murder, saying a prosecutor and judge shouldn't have allowed the process to happen in secret. AP photo. James Pollard. File. My perspective is we're 9 public servants who are hardworking and care a lot about the court and care a lot about the judiciary as a whole, Kavanaugh said. He added that he believes justices respect the institution and want that respect for the institution to be shared by the American people, recognizing that people are going to disagree with our decisions. Kavanaugh took questions from Jeffrey Sutton and Stephanie Dawkins Davis, Chief Judge and Judge, respectively, of the 6th U.S. Circuit Court, at a conference attended by judges, attorneys and court personnel. He urged the crowd to act with respect, civility and legal consistency, and to take special care that losing parties in lawsuits understand their rulings. Thursday's event came at a time when public trust in the court is at a 50-year low following a series of divisive rulings, including the overturning of Roe v. Wade and federal abortion protections last year. Kavanaugh pointed to a series of lesser-noticed rulings that featured unusual lineups that didn't follow some pattern, based on the political leanings of the justices appointing presidents. The Associated Press obtained thousands of pages of documents that show how justices spanning the court's ideological divide have lent the prestige of their positions to partisan activity, by headlining speaking events with prominent politicians, or to advance their own personal interests, such as book sales, through college visits. And reporting from ProPublica earlier this year revealed Justice Clarence Thomas participated in lavish vacations and a real estate deal with a top Republican donor. Kavanaugh, 58, is one of 3 justices nominated by former President Donald Trump who have reshaped the court in recent years. He has sided with conservative majorities in affirmative action and student loan rulings, as well as in the Dobbs case that overturned Roe. He joined liberal justices this term in backing black voters in a case out of Alabama and preserving a federal law aimed at keeping Native American children with Native families. File. Associate Justice Clarence Thomas joins other members of the Supreme Court as they pose for a new group portrait at the Supreme Court building in Washington, October 7, 2022. Thomas is acknowledging that he took 3 trips last year aboard a private plane owned by Republican megadonor Harlan Crow. It's the first time in years that Thomas has reported receiving hospitality from Crow. AP photo. J. Scott Applewhite. File.